love that so much. So hi guys, you're at the Attack on Titan panel. And we love it. So we have some stuff to talk about, obviously, and you guys have questions. We might have answers, depending. And we have one more person, but she is probably going to be a little late, so don't worry, she will be here. But in the meantime, who are you, lovely lady?
I love doing panels with you because she's just the best host ever. I mean, right?
I try.
But hello, my name is Trina Nishimura, and I am the English voice of Mikasa Ackerman in Attack on Titan.
And I'm Landa, and I'm the English voice of Annie Leonhardt in Attack on Titan. And I always get the question, who would win in a fight, Mikasa or Annie? I can never answer it because they're both so awesome, and I love both of them.
It's true.
Yeah.
I do have a small codicil, so I actually do not read ahead, so I don't know how this, everyone's like, oh, what is it? But yeah, I don't know how the story ends, and I've worked really hard to avoid spoilers, really hard. So if you have read ahead, just by show of hands, who's read all of the manga?
Okay, great. We just don't want it spoiled, so please don't spoil it for us.
By show of hands, who has seen Attack on Titan?
I have.
Awesome. By show of hands, who has not seen Attack on Titan?
Uh-oh.
Oh, so for you three,
Actually, no, I have.
Oh, okay. So for you three, if you feel like watching a lighthearted, happy anime, Attack on Titan. That's Bryce's joke, but I just love it. But yeah,
It's the perfect show.
It's the perfect show.
If you guys really are just feeling down about life, and if you really want something to just make you feel so much better about life, Attack on Titan is definitely the show. So, you know. And also, I will say that, I had a brain fart, but yeah, pretty much that no manga spoilers, please, because I have also avoided manga spoilers through, how long? 10 years? 10 years, you guys. And also, I'm sure you guys saw the announcement that I guess the last part is going to be in 2 parts. Did you guys see that?
Yes!
I'm personally okay with that because I'm not ready for it to end. So that's just me. Anyway, if you guys have a question, there is a microphone right there. Go ahead and line up and queue up. Don't be shy. We're really nice, I promise. Hello.
Hi, so my question for you guys is, we know that Attack on Titan is taxing on the voice between the acting, the screaming, everything. So my question is, what was the hardest scene for you guys to record, either screaming-wise, acting-wise, anything like that?
Ooh, yeah. For me, the first thing that comes to mind is from the first season, when the female Titan is in the forest and she screams like for all the other little Titans to come on, like to come by. Oh my God, Jessica Calvello, everybody! I'm terrible. I don't have my glasses on, so I didn't see that you were up here until you lit the
I'm
camera
sorry,
up.
green light. I hate what I'm doing right now, so please keep talking.
Okay, well, let her introduce herself. So myself and Bryce and all the other actors who play Titans as well, we all do the screaming for those Titans. That's not from the original Japanese. We also dubbed that as well. And that was unbelievably hard on my voice. And we had to wait till the very end to do that, and I just remember being in a lot of pain at the end of that. So that was probably the most difficult for me. What about you?
The most challenging scene from... There's so many. There's a lot of screaming. But yeah, I think the most challenging scene for me to record, without giving any of you spoilers, occurred on a rooftop, and there was a choice to be made. And yeah, it was really hard. It was a really emotionally taxing day. There was a lot of crying, and it took a whole pizza for me to come back after that one. But yeah, that was a challenging day.
I feel like Mikasa is, God, she's such a trooper. She's been through so
I mean,
much.
all of them have.
They have, but I don't know, man. Mikas is just on a whole different level, in my opinion.
Like when she was kidnapped as a child.
Exactly, that's my point.
Or
Yeah.
when she witnessed her parents murdered in front of her, or
The huge in this show.
became a murderer at the age of 7.
Yeah, exactly.
She's gone through
Typical
it.
Tuesday, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But Jessica, Calvello, everybody!
Hi. I'm sorry. I literally hate being late. It makes me mad and uncomfortable, and I feel just really disrespectful of my friends up here. But I forgot some prints, and they're being ordered. Yay! So, in a couple of hours, I'll have some great Hanji posters, just not right now. Anyway, hi, I'm Jessica. What was the question the person just asked? Oh, I play Hanji. In Attack on Titan. Hi, Joel. Hi. So yeah, that's who I play. What else should I say?
The first question was, do you remember what was the most challenging scene to record?
Oh.
I love you.
I thank you.
What was the most challenging scene to record that you can remember in Titan?
Honestly, like this would have been back in season 1. There was the famous Mike would always the Hanji episode, because it was mostly Hanji talking the whole time. It's where we got to learn about Hanji's naming scheme for the Titans.
You mean like Sonny and Bean?
Sonny and Bean, the Sonny and Bean episode, yeah.
Oh, I love those.
I don't want to talk about it right now because you are a betraying beyond. Lauren and I have a fake feud. It's not really fake. Fake feud going on about how she offed my children.
She's got to get over it.
I'll never get over it. I will never get over it. We will yell at each other across from our autograph tables, and she'll just all of a sudden be like, "I killed your kids." And I'll be like, terrible. So mean. I love you.
I love you too.
Anyway, so I don't know what I was talking about, though. I have really bad
Challenging
ADHD. Challenging scene. So yeah, it was a Sonny because the whole challenge and the whole challenge for Hanji with me throughout, which is really displayed in this scene, I think, is to make sure that Hanji doesn't get too crazy. And then when Hanji is delivering exposition and strategizing and being like, the fearless commander and whatnot, that it doesn't get boring. And so I got to make sure the highs aren't too high and the lows aren't too low. I got to sort of try to my best to keep Hanji really in the middle. But Hanji does have those crazy moments, and Hanji does have those real serious strategizing moments. So for that particular episode, that was the most difficult one for me to make sure that I was keeping that balanced, because Hanji is genuinely upset in that episode. And so it's funny, but also it's real to Hanji. And so I can't be too comical there. Did you just go, oh, you don't give a shit? I will watch my language in here because I see little bambinos. But yeah, so it's the thing about comedy too, right? Is like, if you play it to be, haha, I'm so funny, it's not going to be funny. Because those are very real moments to Hanji. So that was probably my most challenging episode.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And as a reminder, guys, if you have a question, please line up right here so we can hear you nice and clearly, please. Yeah, come on up if you want to get behind the mic and ask a question. Don't be shy.
My pants glow in this light. Are these like black lights or something?
I don't know.
Wow, look at that. That's crazy. I
Like
love
under the
this.
seat. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I noticed that Hanji puts her glasses up in episode 15, goggles up on her head.
Okay.
She did that when she got angry, but in that one she wasn't that angry.
Wait, are you saying that you've noticed that Hanji puts their glasses up on their head anytime they're
Yeah.
angry? Oh, okay. I didn't notice that.
Very
I noticed in episode 15 she wasn't angry, and she was explaining.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a really interesting character thing that you noticed, right? Like those little nuances and stuff that you notice when you're watching something. That's really cool. Yeah.
The voice acting, you gotta be careful, voice actors, because they're people.
Absolutely. We are people up
You
here.
can't push them to the point, because I use Excel Saga as a cautionary tale.
That's good.
That's
Yeah.
what happens when you push someone to the breaking point.
For sure. And are we people up here? Sometimes I wonder if I'm actually a person. I don't know. I don't think I'm a person today. But thank you so much, Joel. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, Pumpkin. Can you reach?
Do we have anyone on staff in here to help with like microphone situations?
Oh,
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
thank you.
Lefty loosey, righty tighty, or that works.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joel.
Hi.
Hi. So
this is a question for Jessica. Like, who is your favorite character in? It can be in each season.
In Attack on Titan?
Yeah.
So, okay, I have. Oh, it's tough, right? I mean, Hanji, of course. Like, well, I watched the show before I even knew if it was going to be dubbed. I had, and I really zeroed in on Hanji. I just thought that I really gravitate toward characters that have those dark and light moments, and I like the comedy stuff. So Hanji probably is my favorite. Haha, big surprise. But normally I'm not my favorite. Normally I'm like, my character is dumb. I prefer someone else. But Hanji my favorite. I also really like Armin. I think Armin is, the voice actor Josh Greeley is amazing anyway, and I just think that's a really difficult character to play. I think Armin's fantastic. And I love me some Levi. So thank you, yeah.
Thank you for your question.
I like your jacket.
Yeah.
Is that something on the back?
Snazzy.
That's cute.
So, if you guys don't have any questions, this is going to be the shortest panel of the weekend.
It's true.
But please feel free to come on up and don't be shy. The more cues you have, the more A's we'll have.
And the more interesting this panel will be too.
I do, like on a lull when there's a break or whatever, I always like to go over our audition stories. Like, I always like hearing that from you two specifically, and I like to share mine too. So if we get a chance, there's a lull.
Well,
Yeah.
tell your audition story.
You've heard it a million times, and I will bother you again.
Oh, I do know this story.
Yeah.
I don't know this story.
But they do.
I don't
Okay.
know this story.
Yeah, I'll share. Yeah, 'cause we got a line now. Yay!
So my question was, with the new parts coming up for the ending, how do you guys feel? Because I know there's a lot of mixed feelings generally about how the show ended, where it did. What are your guys' feelings about like what's to come, or like generally how it ended? Because there's so many controversial thoughts and opinions about how it ended.
Well, so just so I understand, you're talking about the anime?
Yes.
Okay, because
How last season ended.
the
Yeah,
last
how the
part
season
ended. How the last
I
part
know
ended.
that a lot of people have a lot
Right.
of opinions about how the last season ended.
What?
And I guess how do you guys personally feel about where the show ended,
Oh.
and how you feel about like your own thoughts about it?
Yeah. So first of all, I'm also like a huge fan of the show because I watched it. Now, to be fair, I didn't know what it was before I auditioned for it, and then once I was cast in it, a lot of people were telling me, "You have to watch this. You have to watch this." So I watched it. So since then, I have been a huge fan. Where the last part ended, I felt so much relief when they announced that there was going to be more, because I am a fan of the show. If that's where they had chosen to end the show, I would have been so upset. I would have been like, no, what? No, that's horrible. What? I mean, that's not horrible, but it's like, I don't like shows that, I mean, we know that Titan is famous for cliffhangers, right? Like, we know that. But that would have been like a cliffhanger that I don't think anybody would have been happy with. So for me personally, I hope that it goes in a direction where, I don't know, that the show is so, I love it, but it's so depressing at the same time that nobody knows what's gonna happen. And, you know, it's I think where it's at right now is very sad, because you have, you know, Aaron, who's basically, you know, gone all genocidal essentially, and you have everybody, including, you know, Mikasa and Armin, who have been with him his entire life, and even they're like, we have to fight him, and we don't want to do that, but this is where it's at. So I'm very excited to see where it goes. So
Thank you.
Thank you. Same.
Yeah, same.
oh my gosh, are you Levy? I love Levy. Oh my gosh, Levy's one of my favorite characters from Fairy Tale. I'm gonna shut up.
My question's for all three of you. What would you say your favorite line from the anime is?
I'm so bad at this question. Because you say all these lines and then I forget them. I mean, I'm season 1, we laughed about the scene where Hanji first, you know, sticks their hands onto the Titan and discovers for the first time that it's burning, and Hanji's like, son of a... So that's where Hanji says it, yeah, son of a... Just let me touch it! You know, Hanji's cuckoo bananas in a way. So that's probably my favorite.
I can't remember a particular line per se, but I do love in the latest part. I love the moment. It's kind of an ending credit scene where actually Annie and Mikasa have a moment where they really just kind of look at each other, and it's like they finally have an understanding of each other. Because it's just after Annie has lost everything, essentially. And that was her reason for what she is doing and why she is who she is and all of that. And Mikasa has also been through so much, and I feel like, you know, because they're both such incredibly powerful women, that now that they're on the same side, I think they are not a force to be reckoned with. But as far as a particular line, oh man, there's just too many good ones. I mean, a lot of people like the Annie laugh because the Annie laugh is
I love
fantastic.
it. Why don't you do it for us right now?
I hate you so much right now.
Who wants to hear the Annie laugh? Every panel, I always ask you to do it. You know it's coming. It's just,
But see, the only way this can work if Trina helps me out with this, because your line is the one that leads into the laugh, which is.
See?
I'm trying to remember the first part of it. I'm going to tear you up again. Do you understand me, Titan?
Oh.
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna tear you up again. Do you understand me, Titan?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was like, yeah, that's the line. Yeah.
I'm gonna tear you up again. Do you understand me, Titan?
I think my favorite line is from season 1, once again on a rooftop. And Mikasa has, without any spoilers, somebody very dear to Mikasa is, she thinks anyways, so they're on this roof. I don't know how to explain it without spoiling it. But yeah, so Mikasa's on this roof and she's telling everyone that they need to go and fight Titans and whatnot, but she's also like mentally broken. And she is just about to fly off into a dangerous and precarious place. So she sounds like this.
I can do it. I'm strong. Real strong. None of you come close. I am a warrior.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you so much.
There's a scene in the last part where I felt so horrible for Mikasa, and it's the scene where it's her, Eren, and Armin. They're talking around the table. Do you remember this scene, Trina? It's where Eren starts saying such horrible, cruel things to her just to get a reaction out of her, like to prove that, you know, this is in your blood, you know? And it's horrible! I hated Eren in that scene because I felt so bad, because Mikasa has always been so loyal to him, but I love Armin's reaction, how Armin comes to Mikasa's defense, and you can't talk to her that way. Like, it's such a powerful scene. It gives me goosebumps. So, yeah. Sorry, hi!
I think Lauren started to touch on a little bit of like the moral dilemmas.
I'm so sorry, love. Yeah.
Sorry, Lauren started to touch on like some of the moral dilemmas that are, you know, pretty deep running in this series. And some of these characters are, one day you think they're a good guy, the next day you think they're a bad guy, but they're all kind of the good guy in their own story.
Right.
How does that work, you know, when you guys are trying to prep for, like with Mikasa especially, her and Eren are close as children and all the way up through the scouts and everything, and then you come into these seasons where it's totally flip-flopped, and now, like you said, you got to go fight this guy, or like Annie, where she's, you know, on the opposite side and kind of flips a little bit. So how do you guys prepare for that, like kind of changing the attitudes of the characters, basically?
So one of the really neat things that we get to do in dubbing specifically is we typically, and this has been true for the 20 years that I've been doing this, but we don't get the script ahead of time. And unless you read ahead in the manga or you've watched the show in Japanese in totality, we don't know what we're going to do on a day-to-day basis typically. So we could be we go in basically blind to the scene, to what's going to happen, to all of it. So you go into a room and you're gonna record a scene that's really tragic and really sad and really hard, where, you know, Aaron is saying some messed up stuff to Mikasa, right? And when you go in, you just have to be prepared as an actor for whatever's gonna happen. And then conversely, we also, you may or may not know, that we record on our own, right? So the character, or the actor, Bryce Papenbrook, who plays Aaron, may or may not have recorded at that point, right? So you might just be like acting by yourself, or maybe they've already laid down the tracks and like you're the last person to come in. So typically, for me personally, if it's Attack on Titan, I know it's gonna be hard. I know it's gonna be like, I mean, there's no job security. I mean, you could die at any moment. I don't know. So yeah, I think a lot of it is just being prepared and being properly trained and knowing that you're just gonna be sad for some shows, and then some shows are really lighthearted. It's like, oh, my hero? Sure. Like I'll go in, I'll scream a little, I'll like laugh a little, and that'll be fine. And then, but like Attack on Titan, I know is always gonna be rough.
It's pretty much what she said. I'm just piggybacking off of that. But yeah, I don't think a lot of people know that when we record a session, it's 100% cold reading. And for those of you who don't know what cold reading is, it's essentially going in and seeing the script for the very first time when we go in there. So all of the performances that you hear in all anime shows, that is the actor seeing the script for the first time. It's rare, very, very rare, when an actor has seen the script beforehand, and that is if they are the writer of the show or the director of the show. So for example, Mike McFarland, he did read the manga because he wanted to know what was coming. The actors, you did not read the manga, but you watched it in Japanese before it came out.
Yep.
So with the exception of maybe a few of the actors who know what's coming, the majority, I believe, don't. And there's really no way to 100% prepare for it, but it's kind of what Trina said, is like, we know, okay, it's Titan, it's more than likely gonna be a sad day, you know what I mean? But yeah, and I don't know. I recently started to take some pride in that. I started to take some pride in the fact that we don't see the scripts ahead of time, and yet there's so many amazing performances that come out of this show, and I love that. I honestly feel, yeah, I just love it. Everyone's so stupid talented, you guys.
Oh, no. I echo both of these amazing people up here. I echo it. Yeah, the end.
Thanks.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi. So pretty much most of my questions have already been answered. I was just wanting to know, with the direction, what are your feelings on how Aaron is moving in this?
Losing his utter blanking mind.
Yes.
It's disturbing. Was it the trailer for, what season are we in? Part 3, okay. But season 4? Yes. All right, I don't even know what day it is. Okay, so was it the trailer for the next part coming out where Aaron is like the head and like the bloody hair and the, not human, not Titan or anything. Like, you know the trailer I'm talking about? I think so. He's just an upsetting Titan. He's become the upsetting Titan. It's really disturbing. But I also, gosh, I love a good character growth. You know, like talk about where he started as the sweet. How old were Mikasa and Armin and Aaron? 9? 7. They're 7. What a growth Aaron's had! Like just woo! What has happened? So yeah.
Aaron's he's having a little temper tantrum right now.
Yeah, murderous temper tantrum.
Yeah, he's just a little upset, he just needs some love and support, but he's not gonna get support, so yeah.
Not enough love and support for that one. So yeah.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you. I'm like obviously older, and my son got me started. That was the very first anime show that we ever watched together.
Where is he?
And I love it. He's in the filming part right now.
Tell him we said
But I
hi.
love it. And this was his Christmas present to me, so yeah.
You're a good mom.
So, you know, even two different generations can have stuff in common. So.
Thank you so much. That's very sweet.
I love hearing that.
Hello.
Hi.
So I know final season part 3 is coming out in March. So my question is, where can we expect to see in like in part 3? Like, will Flock return or
It's
like,
not animated yet.
Oh really?
No. Now, this is what I heard. Tell me if because this confused me. I was told by one of our directors that like it's animated in Japan right before we actually get the materials. Like, it's not sitting on a shelf completely finished. Like, they animate every week. They animate every week, right? It airs, and then we get the materials, and then we do our part. But like, it's not even done yet in Japan. It's not finished yet. That's how I was told it works.
I think so. That sounds about right.
So the amount of anime that comes out of Japan is a lot, right? And they have different animation houses have teams. And in point of fact, the artists in those various different studios work like around the clock producing anime. It's crazy their hours and how talented they are. They're incredibly talented. Like I don't know how they do it.
I know that in the announcement that I read, at least, is that they want it to be the best quality that they can do. They don't want to rush it. So I think that is correct. I don't think it's fully animated yet. I don't think it's done. And also on that note, because we have not read the manga, we don't know what's coming.
So do you think we'll see more of the rumbling in part 3?
We have no idea.
Do you think that we'll see more of the rumbling?
I think so.
Do you want Flock to come back?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah, I do. I like him.
You like Flock?
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Somebody has to.
Yeah.
You're the only person who likes Flock.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, it's cool. I want people to work, so that's cool.
Yeah.
That guy.
That guy.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been a real honor meeting you guys.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
What's your
it.
name?
Noah.
Hi, Noah.
Noah, thank you, Noah. Yeah, take care. Hi, hello. I like that pirate's hat. I like it.
I'm not a pirate, but thank you.
Tell me what kind of a hat it is. I don't have glasses on, I'm sorry.
It's supposed to be more of like a French style hat. I'm cosplaying Haru from Persona 5.
It's precious.
See, I thought it was a pirate too. So yeah, but you look fantastic either way.
Thank you. So hi, I have not watched AOT.
Okay.
Welcome.
Nor do I plan to, frankly, just because I can't deal with
Why
the
are
amount
you here?
of,
I'm sorry.
with my friends.
Okay.
But I have seen you at past Ohayocon, so love you, big fan.
Thank you.
However, I've never met you two, but you guys are amazing. That laugh gave me chills. I
very
don't
talented.
understand the context behind it, but amazing job. So my question is more just about general, like what you've done. What is the weirdest, strangest / funniest thing you have ever had to do or happen in a booth?
In the booth.
Anything, not just AOT.
Weirdest, strangest.
I mean, it's always weird when I get in there, man. It's just always going to be weird. I've been in there without pants. That's not that weird. No, I mean, a lot of us have home studios. You know, sometimes you derail from your session to laugh at something. I've had multiple therapy sessions with Chris George when I was recording for Uromachi Onisan, Life Lessons with Uromachi. But the weirdest thing, I mean, every day that I go into the booth is the weirdest day, and then it was weirder than the day before that, so I don't have a specific story.
I can't think of anything like weird booth stories. I haven't had anything like weird or spooky or anything like that.
And just funny.
Just general quick.
Funny stories.
But you have to understand, once you've been doing this for a long time, the memories all start to blend together. You know what I mean? Do you have any memories?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I'm just trying to remember. What I love when I'll be recording and random actors will pop in just to say hi.
Yeah.
You know, that's always nice. I like that because it's like, because we don't always see each other. We don't always get to see each other. So the one time that we do get to see each other is in the studio, like, you know, literally walking past each other. So it's kind of nice when the actors are like, I'm just gonna pop in, hi, and hopefully it doesn't piss off the director.
There are things like this, too.
And there are things like this. We also get to see each other at conventions, which is really nice. It's this weird vaudevillian life that we lead. We all have our little acts and we show up and we're like, da 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 da. I think my favorite, a strange moment. There's also, I'm glad that you like her laugh. If only there was a show that you could watch. Anyways, context, yeah. And then you could get goosebumps and really enjoy it because,
And over again, because you could rewind it and watch it again.
yeah. Anyways, here's hoping, right? The weirdest, there's, whenever you record anime or other things, there's usually background people or background scenes, right? And so those people in the background also have to be voiced. So there are sessions called WALA, which is a poorly worded acronym that stands for With All Actors. What it stands for? WALA. I didn't know that's what it stands for. Well, yeah, but it's with all actors.
All actors. I never knew that either.
You just thought the word was WALA?
Yeah. I just thought it was just like we don't know what to call this, so we're
Peas
gonna
and
call
carrots,
it that.
peas and carrots, walla walla
Yeah,
walla walla.
yeah, you know, all that. So,
Y'all are so cute. It's like you've just been born into the world. I love you guys. Okay, so no, it's with all actors, but it's not actually an acronym because. Right. So, WALA. So I was doing a WALA session years and years ago for a show called Shin-Chan. And yeah, right? It's a great show. But I did a lot of WALA sessions because the director at the time, Zach Bolton, was like, hey, I want you to train all the WALA people. And I was like, beep up, check. So I trained a lot of WALA people. And there are just various different characters. Like you'll be in a booth with all three ladies and you're all talking like you're at the mall. And then it's like, oh, I need somebody to be a mom or I need somebody to be a little boy or whatever. And so the director, Zach, was like, hey, who can do an old lady Australian accent? And I was like, I mean, I'll try. And so that particular scene was the main characters were in a hotel room, and next door there was an older couple having an intimate moment. And so I did an old Australian woman having an intimate moment with her significant other.
Can we hear an example of this? Can we hear an example of this?
No.
Okay. Oh, it really goes there.
It really goes.
Oh, okay.
I love it.
yeah, that's awesome. I didn't know you did an Australian accent.
I didn't either.
That's the life of voiceover, kids.
Thank you so much.
Thank
for coming.
you.
guys are awesome.
Thank
Why'd you
you.
turn that to?
Hello.
Hi.
I was wondering, without any spoilers, but like, what is your most like unexpected moment of the show?
Most unexpected
I
moment.
know it's hard without spoilers.
That one scene with the one scene with her on the rooftop because something's happening. No, the one after that, the one where chomp. Yes, that one was very. Wait, how many of you have not seen Attack on Titan again? There's like 3 people. Like, I think it's safe for us to talk about the anime. I mean, are you guys okay with that? If we talk about, are you good? Okay. It's the scene where we think Eren is dead, essentially. Because I was like, wait a second, they can't kill the main character off. Is this Game of Thrones? What? And so I was very shocked by that scene. And there was another one too. I'm trying to remember what it was, but that was definitely one of them. What about you guys?
As unpredictable as Hanji is, everything that Hanji does makes so much sense that I'm never like, I can't believe Hanji did that. Even when Hanji makes mistakes, to the detriment of like, you know, God, what was most of Levi's people were taken out. Was that season 1? Clearly I have a love for season 1. I mean, that's where
Look,
I fell in
she
love
was
with the show.
just petrified.
Okay, that's, hey.
Thank you.
But like, strategizing, even when Hanji makes mistakes, I'm like, oh, but that makes sense why that happened, and I can never be mad at them, you know? So as unpredictable as that character is, And I think that was your question, like something that happened that you didn't expect. I'm like, oh no, I didn't see that coming, but gosh, now that it happened, it makes sense. So, yeah.
I'm gonna have to agree with Lauren. Like, if you kill the main character in episode 4, like, that doesn't really bode well for the other leads, you know?
When Bryce talks about it, if you ever hear Bryce talk about it, he goes, kind of like what you just did. He's like, oh man, you Game of Thrones me. He says it in his Bryce Aaron voice. It's very funny.
Well,
Thank you for the question.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
I love the cloak.
Thank you. You probably get asked this often, but from each of your characters, what's your favorite moment from them? Each individual character you play.
Favorite moment.
Favorite moment of each of them.
I think my favorite moment for Mikasa is at the end of season 3 when they finally get a beach day. You know, like these poor kids.
It's the quintessential hot springs dumpling beach day.
Can they have a moment? You know, and
Finally get a rest.
Yeah. I love, like, she, like, takes her shoes off and she's like, happiness, what is this?
That's how I felt when I watched it. I'm like, these poor kids probably don't even know what true happiness is, and it's so sad. Jess, what about you?
Favorite moments, it's really hard for me to pinpoint one, but I do love Hanju's reaction as well when they're in the water, and it's like so funny to see them with their like pants rolled up and like, whoa, a pufferfish, or whatever the hell it is they grab out of the water. It's like, I don't know what that thing is, but I do love that very human moment where it's not death and mayhem. It's like I'm saying, like that anime beach day, hot springs, dumplings, but Attack on Titan style. So.
Well, Annie doesn't have any of those moments.
Yeah, you're still crystallized, aren't you? Are you still in that? Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't hear you over the sound of not having any lines for 3 seasons almost in a row. That's what you get for killing Sonny and Bean!
I'm sorry about that. So anyway, I love you. One scene that I thought was really cute was the pie scene with Annie. So many people love, y'all, when I tell you that so many people love that scene, I'm not even joking you. Everyone is so happy about Annie stuffing her face with pie. And I think the funniest part of that is Connie just laughing at her. It's like, Annie's stuffing her face with pie, and it's like the funniest thing because it's so stupid, but it's really cute. And you know, she's been crystallized for a long time, so she was hungry.
Should have been longer.
She's a.
What's your favorite moment?
Oh, you gonna do that to me?
Yes.
How does it feel?
Wow. Okay. Man. I'd say probably first time Aaron turned into a Titan after the whole.
Very good.
Down the hatchet.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Good.
Thanks, Pumpkin.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi.
I had to write this one down. So the question that I kind of ask most of the actors is, what part of your personalities do you put in your characters, and also what part of their personalities do you see in kind of yourselves, if any?
What was the first part of the question?
What part of, what do we put into our characters, what do we take away from our characters? Personality-wise, right?
Yep.
It just depends, for me, it just depends on which character I'm playing. So specifically for Titan,
Yep.
okay, so specifically for Titan, for some reason, for a while there, if there was a traumatized, desperate, sad, and emotionally damaged female character, they were like, "What's Trina doing?" So I don't know what that says about me, but yeah, there's a lot of in performance and in acting, like any sort of situation that you go into or that I go into, I try and take something from my life that's similar. Obviously, not obviously, but thankfully, I didn't witness my parents being murdered in front of me, but you imagine that, and that's pretty traumatizing and sad. And then, yeah, so I try and leave things on the floor when I leave a scene, or I leave a show, or I leave whatever, I try and leave it there. It's typically harder for me if it's a sadder character to leave it, but pizza helps, and tacos.
I just noticed something. I just realized something. This show has a theme with parents.
Yeah.
Like, Aaron loses his mom in the first episode. I'm sorry, not Trina, Mikasa. Mikasa loses her parents. And I think, Connie loses his mom. And Annie, as of right now, I believe she lost her dad. I don't know because I haven't read the manga. But I just noticed that.
It's
wow.
Disney.
It's Disney! It's Disney! They kill off the parents! Yeah, no, kind of similar to what Trina said, but so I'm very close with my parents. I have a very close relationship with them, and Annie, again, I mentioned this before, but the scene where she finds out that her homeland has been destroyed, essentially, and she just kind of loses it, and we see this incredibly vulnerable side to her. That I definitely felt because I'm very close with my dad. And so in order to really kind of feel what your character's feeling, you have to put yourself as much as you can in those shoes. So it was a very emotional scene for me, and Mike and I really wanted to make sure it sounded good. So I was like, I don't care how many times we have to do this, we're gonna get it right. And so I can definitely relate. So yeah.
So my favorite type of anything to play, voice, IRL, me, is dark, sardonic humor, gritty. My favorite TV series, well, my favorite TV series is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but my second favorite TV series is Breaking Bad, where you're laughing and you're horrified and you can't stop laughing. I've also worked with Side 9 Happiness, if you guys know who that group is, and I've done a lot of their shorts, and they're so dark. But you're like, oh God, I'm gonna go to hell for laughing at this. And so with Hanji, as far as putting myself into that character, like, I don't know, sure, I think that's there, but I also just think that that's the kind of comedy that I just gravitate toward, where it's like, I don't really know how to explain it other than whatever that was I just did with my face. Thank you. Yeah, so I don't know if I answered your question, but
No, it did.
okay. Yay!
Thank you so much. Thank you.
What's our time? How are we doing?
2:17.
12, 13 minutes left? Okay, cool. Awesome.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Liz. The first time I've met any of you guys. I love the work that you do. Love you guys. Mine isn't so much of a question as it is an ask. Jessica, would you mind doing the woohoo that you get from Hanji from the Elise's Notebook episode? That was my favorite Hanji episode.
Which episode?
The OVA episode in between season 1 and 2.
Okay, OVA episode, and it was a woohoo.
It was when she got the permission from Erwin to capture the Titans.
Can you do it for me? I really don't remember.
I don't know if I could do it justice.
Well, kind of do it, and let me see if it can draw my memory.
It was very much, she's jumping up in the air, woohoo! And then she walks.
Okay, so is it like this?
Yeah, woohoo! Yes, yeah.
Do you want it higher, lower, slower? Do you have a few different levels? Was that good enough?
Yes, I'm
Some
good.
directors are like, can you do it 9 more times? The first 8 sucked. And then they go back to the very first one you did and be like, oh, actually, we're good with the first one. We can move on. After 20 minutes of doing 9 other takes. Thank you. I hope that was good.
No problem.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Hi. I'm short. I'm sorry.
We love shorties.
Are you supposed to be Armin?
Yeah.
I love it.
My question is, out of all the characters on the show, your own or other ones, which dynamics are your favorite, or which ones would you like to see explored more, or wish had gotten a chance to be explored more, or anything like that?
I mean, I can tell you right off the bat that Jean is one of my favorite
Mine
characters.
too.
I love Jean, and I'm glad that we see more of him. Yeah, that's it. I just love Jean, and I want to see more of Jean. I also love Levi. Levi's a great character. I also loved Kenny. Like, I love Kenny. Kenny's a great character.
Sorry. Yes. I don't. From season 1. I don't know if you remember this character. It was like just a snippet. But the Derpy Titan that comes like running around the corner. Like, I want to know more about the Derpy Titan. He's like, he's not trying to get anybody or anything. He's just like running into walls. You know. He's like, what's up, you guys? Like, I want a whole like spin-off series about like Derpy Titan and Santa Claus Titan, and like somehow they end up in the big city and they don't know what they're doing with their life, you know?
I think you just created a show. Make it happen.
I think Trina, you had shared this when I think it was the one of the trailers for season 2. So this is years ago. And there was a French group. I can't think of the name of the group or the song, but I think you just did like, you shared it to Mike or Bryce on Facebook or something, and it was like, here, you're welcome. And it was all the Derpy Titans, because we had just seen them for the first time, like the real derpy ones. And it's that song that goes da da na da na da na da na na. Nobody knows it. It's like it's called Shooting Stars or something. Oh yeah. And I've never been able to find it again. And I was like, Trina, where? And I don't know where you got it from. I can't. Well, the song is. Well, you don't know it just from my great singing, but the song is popular. But that video, and I was like, oh my god, this is so funny. Anyway, I just had to say that.
Aww.
I loved it.
What character do you want to see explored more?
So I loved what was developing between Armin and Hanji as they were like starting to like brainiacs, figure it out. I love that. I love the friendship, the strong friendship between Levi and Hanji. I think that they're like close friends. Yeah, close friends. My favorite moment for that dynamic of that friendship happened, I think it's either season 1 or season 2. We are speaking with Ervin. Ervin is beat up in the bed with the sling on the arm things. Yeah, I can't talk at all. The irony, but anyway, and so Levi and Ervin are talking, and there's a knock on the door, and Levi just looks up and goes, Hanji, and I'm like, how good of friends? Because someone you're really close with, you can tell by the way they walk. If they're in the room, you can tell by the way they move without looking at them. You know that that's your BFF or your dad or whatever. Yeah. And it's like Levi knows Hanji's coming. He knows they're coming. And just by the way Hanji knocks, and Levi's like, oh, Hanji. And sure enough, Hanji's like, yo, what's up? And I'm like, that is like close colleagues.
I love that. I was just going to say, I love that they're good friends, but I also just love how dedicated they are to fighting with each other. You know, like defending one another, because they were part of the same regiment.
And they give each other shit.
Yeah, So yeah. I was like, oh gosh. Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Thank you. Just kind of a quick question. This is kind of more dabbling into the Attack on Titan Junior High.
Hi! Clearly, we hate that show.
So I was just wondering, like, what your guys' thoughts were. Because I want to say it was like right after season 1 was when it started. So what were your guys' thoughts on moving from such a drastic to kind of more of a lighthearted kind of show with the same characters?
What a breath of fresh air, right?
You can tell we clearly hated the show. Clearly. No, that show was so much fun to do. It was just so, I miss that show. Yeah. It was so much fun because, you know, while the normal show is very happy-go-lucky and all of that, so Junior High was just so hilarious. It was so funny, and it was so much fun to record. I loved the one moment that just keeps playing over in my mind is when Armin has the little futon on his head, and it's in the episode with the 7 terrors of the school. So you have Mikasa who's like, the 7 terrors of the school. And they're like, you know, straightforward. And then you have Armin who's terrified of all of it. And at the very end, he just can't take it anymore. So he's like, Grandfather, take me to my room! Like, gosh, really? Like, oh my God. I will laugh every time I watch it. So I love that show.
I love that they were stealing lunches and not eating people. Like, how cute is that?
It was nice to be able to like actually show my work to friends' kids. They're like, oh, our kids should watch your shows. I'm like, they shouldn't. They need to be much older. So being able to be like, look, you can watch this, and they're like, that's not you. I'm like, all right, that's fine. But I loved it. So I mean, we all loved it. It was such a great time, and there was such a long break between season 1 and season 2 that being able to revisit the universe and be reminded how fun these characters are. Or challenging. Well, they were fun. It was great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hello.
Hi there.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
I just have a sort of not really Titan-related question, but a fun question. If you could have a superpower, what could it be and why?
Like a superpower or like a quirk?
Superpower. I know you already have a quirk.
I would be able to manifest tacos at any given moment. Like, oh, would you like some birria tacos? Boom. Do you want some like Taco Bell tacos? Boom. Like that's what I would want to do.
I would like the ability to telepathy and flying.
If you had telekinesis, you could fly.
Technically, yes, that is true. Yes, but in telekinesis, you can still read people's minds, right? Because telekinesis is like both.
Well, telekinesis is where you can move stuff with your mind.
Right, yes, with your mind, but you can't necessarily, because telepathy is where you can, so all the above. All the above.
You only get one. Telepathy or telekinesis?
Says who?
So you
this
basically
person.
just want to be Jean Grey then.
Yeah, because I love Jean Grey.
Yeah.
I love Jean Grey. Jean Grey is a total badass. Yes.
Okay, my superhero wishes have changed. As a child, I wanted to fly so badly. I tried. It didn't go well at all. Like, really didn't go well at all. Don't know how I didn't break a bone. What? There's still time. But now, you know what I really want to be able to, I wish I could be invisible. But here's the deal. If you have a superpower, you also have a weakness. You have a kryptonite. So if I could be invisible, that's the way, those are the rules of superpowers. If I could be invisible, what would my weakness, like only invisible on Tuesdays? Or like I'm invisible for
Not on Tuesdays because it's Taco Tuesday.
or like if I'm invisible, right? If my timer runs out, then I become not visible and I'm naked. Oh my god, right? So like I think about that and then I go, do I really want a superpower? I've really thought about this too much. So
I'm just gonna take a moment to plug, actually I never do this, but if you haven't seen the anime Charlotte, Charlotte is an excellent show and
is she invisible?
My character can go invisible. Woo! Yes, and but there's like I don't remember what the caveat is, but she beats the crap out of people when she goes invisible. But anyway, Charlotte is an amazing show. It's basically about you can only have superpowers if you're going through the adolescent age. It's a great show. It'll break your heart halfway through. It did very well, but it's very underrated. So I highly recommend watching it, especially if you're into like superpowers and stuff. Definitely watch that.
Thank you.
If you could choose a superpower, what would yours be?
Yeah.
Let's see, I majored in exotic animal training, so.
So you have superpowers.
You can communicate with the animals. You're actually an exotic animal. Which one are you?
Cat.
Aww. I mean, that works. We love cats.
No, but I would love to either turn into animals and or be able to talk to them and understand them.
Would you want to be a familiar?
I think my cats already are.
Aww. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we have time for one more question.
2 minutes left. Lay it on us.
I know.
Okay, so with most of the characters on Attack on Titan, I guess you could consider morally gray. Was there ever a point where you had a dislike or a distrust or animosity towards your own character, and did that make it harder for you to record them?
I did not. As I was saying earlier, I feel like Hanji is not morally. I don't think there's anything morally corrupt about that character. Well, listen, we can forgive a few things, can't we? Come on, work with me here.
I don't know.
I can't forgive you. I mean, but we're not talking about that. So anyway, yeah, that's my response. Go ahead.
Honestly, not for me personally, because where I was coming from, viewing, Annie's perspective, to me, I was always under the impression that she's not doing this for no reason. There's clearly a reason to why she's doing what she's doing. And I don't have a lot of animosity towards her, but a lot of people have animosity towards Annie because of what she did to the Levi Squad. And a lot of people would come up to me and they would say, so how does it feel to play the villain? And Annie's not the villain. That's been proven. She's actually not the villain. She might be an antagonist in season 1, but she's not actually the villain. And that's what's beautiful and fantastic about this show, as we mentioned earlier, is that you don't know who are the good guys and who are the bad guys necessarily. It's not always just black and white. And that's what I love about the show, is that it's very deep. So, yeah, what about you?
I think that Mikasa has a few moral dilemmas within herself, but there aren't, like, do I doubt that she's a good person? Like, no, I think she's awesome, but she's also me, so I'm like, I'm biased, but so, I don't think that there's any, I think that everybody, or when I approach a character, I approach each and say, like, this character is doing the best that they can, and in their mind, whatever their actions are justified, because nobody's ever the bad guy in their own brain, right? That's a horrible example.
I get where you're going with it, though. Horrible. As somebody who's Jewish, I'm telling you, like, I get it. I'm being serious. There's no joke here. I'm being serious.
I don't know. So I don't think I ever encountered a moment where I was like, oh no, she's messed up. Like, everything that she's doing and everything she has done and everything she continues to do in her mind is justifiable and for the greater good of her familial unit or society. So, yeah. I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to the roast?
No.
I didn't even know.
Do you know why I don't go to the roast anymore?
No.
Because I used to go to the roast every time.
I've never been.
I used to go every time, and I would present, and I was roasted one year. But now, unfortunately, they're not supposed to bring your phones in, or you can have your phone. I mean, you're not supposed to do any recording or picture taking, and that has started happening at the roast. So I won't do any more adult panels, and I won't do any more roasts because people record you, they take you out of context, they make horrible TikToks about you. So I won't do it anymore. But it's so fun. Like, don't have your own experience, but you're supposed to be able to say and do and be and have your comedy and say whatever and roast each other for fun. And I found that to be really unenjoyable when it was the breach of trust was broken with the people that had come to see the roast. So.
But I will tell you guys that we will be signing at our tables. So after this panel, our tables are like all in the same area. So please go to our tables. Get something
when are
signed.
your Q&As? I've got one tomorrow at 10:30 a.m., which no one will probably come to because it's at 10:30 a.m. When are y'all's Q&As?
Well, we have Women in Anime. Is it tonight or tomorrow?
I'm not on that one. I'm not really a woman. No, I am. I don't know what I am.
Are you not on the Women in Anime? Oh, maybe. Well, I think it's tomorrow. I don't really know.
I think it's just woman.
I hope not. No, but yeah, I think there's
a Q&A. Do you have a separate Q&A?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I do. Or maybe I do on Saturday. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I'd have to look. I don't remember. I don't really do a whole lot of panels anymore. So
yeah, the guidebook is updated though.
Yes.
Do you have a Q&A?
I do, and I know when that is. So I'll see you there.
But yes, come to our tables and come see us, guys, and we will see you over there. Thank you.